Look at here, sis. Look at here, sis. I ain't gonna hold you too long. Happy Saturday. Happy day 59. Se sientan with it. I think. No, that's 69. Ooh, where is your mind at, girl? Not here. I'm gonna keep this brief and brilliant because this is probably the earliest video I've recorded on this journey. It's 7 o'clock. Can you believe that? I think I'm done working today because your girl can't focus. I feel myself getting agitated. And when you get agitated, you get distracted and you start to rationalize. You want to feel, maybe you have a rebelistic tendency when you've been so straight edge, you've done everything right. This typically happens with my church girls. Praise ya. You crave that naughtiness outside of you. You crave that bad boy. You crave that bad habit that, nobody really knows about. Nobody really talks about. You do when nobody's looking. Yeah, 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 yeah. That one. So apparently, when you're so close to your goal, I talk about this pretty often. Are you the type that you see the goal, you see yourself actively approaching the goal, and you're like, oh, all I needed to see was I could do it. All I needed to see is I could climb the mountain. Like, I actually don't have to go all the way up there. I just needed to see with my own peepers that I could do it. I'm good. Okay, I'm good. Are you that type? No, because that would be insane. Because we look at those people like, why wouldn't you just finish? You had one semester left. Why didn't you just finish the degree? You had 1 week in your lease left. Why didn't you just stay and just relax? That person wanted to go on one more date with you, but you just didn't feel connection, so you cut the cord. You just wanted to see if you could make it to date two. Now you lost all interest. Are you that psychotic? Because let me explain to you the other side of that coin for probably majority of the people who aren't me. There is a term that's called, I kept on saying the gold gradient effect. It's not called that. It's the goal, GOAL, gold gradient effect. Now, this was made popular by, I believe, Clark Hall, he was a behavioral psychologist, and he basically essentially says that the closer we get to a goal, the faster and harder we push toward it. Humans and even animals in experiments increase effort as the finish line gets closer. Some examples of this, probably people, would buy you coffee more often when their loyalty card is almost full. They just want to, I was even going to get a Frappuccino, but I'm going to get it because, I got one more. I do this with my nail lady sometimes. Like, I might as well just add on a pedicure. You got to pay a certain amount. She got a little stamp card. She got me. She got her hooks in me. Another is like, runners like speed up. Those triathlons are like those real marathon workers. You see, I'm like, when did you have a fifth gear? They put it in fifth gear as they see approaching. Where did you get that energy? Wow. Or let's say you were a student that procrastinated actively, and then suddenly you work crazy before the deadline. Typically the night before. You like the thrill. You like the thrill of that, don't you? Your brain literally says, we're so close. Don't stop now. Does your brain say that? You don't know what my brain says. Well, you proved you can get in the top 1% of results. Let this thing fly. Let it fly. Let it fly. Let it fly. You've gone beyond the average person. Let it go. Let it fly away. Since this class was only supposed to be for 40 days and we have gone beyond that by almost half a month, this is my face majority of the day. It's only I get one day out of the week where I'm just like, I'm gonna be so you get to a point where you're just so you're too neutral. Like it actually draws attention how neutral you are, how laid back you are. You realize how much everybody else is in a rush. Everybody's leaned forward. Everybody's cheeks are so tight. They're just gotta go. I'm just such in a rush. I gotta go. I'm like, I was there too. I am. I am guilty too. But in this particular season, in this particular state, during this particular circumstance, I have learned I cannot release unless I relax. That starts to follow in, it's like a plague, it can't help but spread. This new calm that you keep calling in, because you're deciding that in these situations, even though yeah, you do want to run that yellow light, but you're like, you remind yourself, oh yeah, I'm not in a rush. And then you pan left and there's a cop right there, like, oh yeah, thank you. Thank you, intuition. Thank you. Thank you. Because I was about to on this Mitsubishi Mirage. Go 0 to 60 in about a day, but we was gonna get there, okay? We was gonna get there. I think I get a Fiat tomorrow. I think that's what I'm driving tomorrow. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. It fits the British profile. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Let's break down. I thought this was just an interesting phenomenon, and I really want to try to understand it because maybe I do this gold gradient effect in some cases, but not all for some reason. That's why I was very curious about this concept. And it's like, is it related to ADHD, OCD? I like making patterns. Now, we know as researchers and experimentalists that correlation does not always mean causation. Just because you have your clothes in piles all over the room doesn't necessarily mean you have ADHD, but it is a circumstance that happens. Just because you're an extreme worrier doesn't mean you have, ADHD. Girl, as many documentaries as I'm watching about the brain, that's just something you have to accept learning about, especially when you are dealing with addictions and compulsiveness and any type of mental stagnation, brain fog, anything. You're going to go into neuropsychology. You're probably going to learn about psychology. You're going to learn about so much energetically, biologically, anthropologically. Fight or flight, you'll know about the amygdala, you know about the prefrontal cortex. You'll start learning about different areas of the brain because different areas of the brain controls different aspects of you. So you're going to get curious and you're going to go down that bunny hole and just have grace and patience with yourself. One breadcrumb will lead to another, one enlightenment will lead to another. But yo, I'm really in this. Like, I'm learning as I go. Even though I would do this, I would be learning about this stuff regardless. I have to be a student to feel. I have to be learning. Oh, I just made a revelation. Oh, man. I have to be learning to feel like there's still purpose in life. Is that dark? Or is that just a great observance? When I'm not learning, when I'm not striving to something, I think this is a very human thing. That's why purpose is so pushed down on us. To just find your purpose, find your gifts. Because without that, without something to strive through, just like still water, will start to decay. We are forward progressing species, but we are also highly adaptable and we are wired for comfort and safety. So that's just like a martini full of attributes that like kind of make this human thing a little confusing, but like once you separate yourself and I guess get out the matrix, you actually know the rules of the game, so you can actually decide whether you want to break those rules or whether you want to go in alignment. You know the rules of the universe, so now you can use them in your favor or continue to disobey them and get those consequences. You have to know the rules to decide if you're breaking them, if you want to break them. I say that all the time. If I ever have kids, I'll probably say that too. You need to know the rules inside and out so you can actually leverage, is this risk going to be worth it? Is running this light worth it to you? Is whatever you would get, you know, selling this rock of I don't even know what you can sell me to. if your rent is due and you have a family, yeah, some rules are going to be broken. But there are rules that you can just not deny. There's man's rules, and then there's God's universe rules, nature's rules. Only one of those is forgiven. The other one can be passed down your lineage. Okay, I'm just talking. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? I'm just the leper woman in the what is this, a bear cub beanie, and who am I? Who am I? I'm just talking. I'm just talking. The wear close, don't stop now approach, which I think majority of people have. They've gone this far, they've worked this hard, they might as well finish. Yo, I was done with college the first week I stepped in there. I'm like, okay, this is cool. This is all right. But you know, your first couple years of college, you're going through that basic stuff, not statistics. Holy smokes, statistics. Was I diagnosed by that time? I'm not sure I was diagnosed with ADHD, but I also learned if you can just find your flow of focus, mind you, I had 4 teammates that took the same class. So it was 5 of us. Only 2 of us passed that class. I was one of them. And I got one of the top scores in that class when I just decided to dedicate myself. I'm like, okay, I'm not learning how the professor's teaching me. I have to learn a different way. I have to learn through colors. I have to learn through sensations. I have to learn through reading this probably 20 times. I have to learn the systems and mechanics of why it does what it does. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I can retain that. Yeah, I can retain that. So take in the information and decipher how does it resonate with you. That's all I'm doing. When I'm taking from religion, not even taking, when I'm embracing religion, when I'm embracing philosophy. I'm sorry. Sorry. I'm getting these sharp, just sharp. It feels like lightning bolts going through my brain for some reason, through my head. I've been getting a lot of high pitched sounds in my ears. I explained that, I think, on day 56. I think it's left is spiritual and right is physical. Um, I just think my sensitivities are expanding, like what I can feel, and my body's getting used to it because it's still also detoxing. And I feel like I'm developing or I'm just coming back online, like the computers are coming back on. I'm not all the way. I'm about 40% out of 100 watt bulb. And I think I figured out what's going to take me next to the next step. And I'm like, wow, you got the mucoid plaque out, as you can see on day 33. The holiest of numbers. Not the holiest, but my holy number. You got the plaque out. Did you know that was like the first phase? You know, the parasites, the hookworms, the all that is that they they cover themselves in the biofilm. They cover themselves in the mucoid plaque. That was the first layer. There is still something taking 60 to 90% of your nutrients before they even get detached. Now that you got all that mucoid plaque out, like, you know, if you have you ever like looked at a stomach actual why don't we have biologically accurate, why don't we know that our intestine is over 20 feet? Why don't we know? I mean, I guess like I took advanced classes in high school and I wanted to be a nurse in college, so I had to take chemistry. Like I know this stuff, but I didn't know it to the depths like this. Like the whole parasites, we knew we had good bacteria, we had bad bacteria, what an infection was, but the whole parasites, how they lay biofilm, all that they encase themselves with, they've been around for millions of years. You don't think they know how to adapt? They've been doing this? Okay. They've been doing this. They're hijacking your brain, they're hijacking your nervous system. I'm like, this is why I still don't feel like. And a part of me, I was like, dang, do I have to go back on ADHD medication? I've been off of it for 5 years. And I've had every doctor tell me that, you know, this is something you kind of have to go on for the rest of your life. But being the stubborn me, I'm like, I got to a point where I was like, I was on so many medications. My nightstand looked like a grandmama's nightstand. And I was just like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. I haven't felt in my right mind, and this medication isn't helping. They're telling me to live with the circumstances I live with. I can't explain this to my anybody. Why I'm just upset, why I'm in pain all the time. I'm just as confused. How am I going to explain this to anybody else? I was married at the time. How? And it's starting to look more and more like it's these little critters that I've invited in my home. Even though I've cleansed, I've juiced, I've detoxed, now that I'm learning the proper way of like binding, if you're just killing off parasites and worms and hookworms and all that, the die off, it's staying in your body and getting reabsorbed unless you actually take a binder at the right time. And binders can be what I've talked about, bentonite clay through the fast that I did through the program. It was bentonite clay and psyllium husk. And now this woman that I told you guys I've been researching for, I mean, I go in from the moment I wake up. Well, I do have a little ritual, and then I'm just researching. When something's got me by the ooh, when I'm like, I need the next step. How do I take this even deeper? Because I'm starting to we're starting to get way too comfortable, and I'm starting to take less juices. My body's getting used to just running on the minimum. I'm like, no. In order to have a proper detox, you have to consistently flood your body with your juices. Girl, that's why I'm like, how do my body's letting off the gas. So how do I entice it? Sometimes you got to entice your mind and body. Cuz if it's keeps on doing the same thing without results, I kind of stand up and I'm like, should I be switching directions? Should I be going down a different street? This is what happened with that man who was digging gold and the 3 foot story, how he stopped just 3 feet. I understand. I'm like, damn, I'm tired. I want a steak. I want a steak. Do you know what that means? I don't actually want a steak. I want some arugula. Do you know what that thought tells me? Oh, you still got some uninvited dinner guests. And that's what parasite actually means in Latin. Uninvited dinner guests. That means they're eating at your expense. Can you want to take you want to take a shot at what they're eating? You're providing. You're the hostess with the mostest. And you think you're crazy. I feel like that's the biggest sign that you have parasites. If you've had to question, am I crazy? Because the behaviors, the results, the opportunities, it's like, why this ain't lining up. I'm smart, right? Like I've accomplished some good, like great things with honestly not that much effort. It may look like effort on the outside, but honestly, it was kind of like fun in a sick way. Like when I won a national transformation challenge, I got yeeked up, okay? I love doing 2 days. Also took a day off. I'm not crazy. I loved face planting a bowl full of salad. I was like, I love this. I loved polar plunging to get a quicker recovery. I hated it in the moment, but I was like, ah, you're such a badass. You're such a badass. Yeah, that turns me on. Got a Scorpio moon. No, Scorpio rising. So people already expect me to be a badass. Your rising sign is how people perceive you. Also, Scorpios are about that dark transformation, baby. We're constantly reinventing ourselves. But at this point, in this time, I don't want to do it without some higher guidance, some inner guidance. I'm like, girl, your oof, your intuition, your judgment, it has to moving forward in 2026. It has to be above par. Your way of thinking, your problem solving, your rebounding, your bounce back game, it has to be above par. Because that's where it's supposed to be. That's where you were destined to be. You just let a few things distract you. A few people get too close. A few decisions that maybe were impulsive, maybe were compulsive. So you're questioning, why did you even make that decision? Why did you even give that guy a chance? Why did you even forgive that girl? Why did you not take that opportunity? If you have questioning like that, something else is governing your thoughts, your mind, and it does not want to let go. It wants to make you think that you're imagining all this. Even talking about parasites, I've been feeling such queasiness. And allegedly, like worms, certain pinworms, they come out within a 3-day window of like the full moon. Because, the full moon boosts our serotonin. Look it up. And that's what they feed on, is your serotonin, your happy drug, your happy hormone. And that's why you have bouts of depression. That's why your self-worth wavers, because your uninvited guests are eating on the things that keep you stimulated and motivated and happy. You're pumping all this cortisol and your body's not seeing any serotonin. It's like, where is all the serotonin? Where's all the nutrients? Like, where we're eating, right? That's why you're never full, sweetheart. I'm convinced not only do all people, I feel like, have worms, parasites, other entities inside them, definitely binge eaters, definitely food addicts. Your mind is being controlled. And you don't know what it means to feel full because you've relied on artificial things outside of you to make you feel full, to make you happy, to make you feel sexy, to make you feel accomplished. It's all external when all your power is internal. Yes, it is. Now, has that internal been distorted? Has it been compromised? Or are you running on all cylinders? The former, you say. Good. Good. We're here to figure that out. We are here to figure that out. So on this going back to the goal gradient effect, these are, our brothers and sisters who just want to push forward. They're already so close. They're here. Why this happens in the brain, there's 3 main psychological drivers. And I can relate to a few of these, The first one, dopamine increases as your progress gets visible. I just needed to see I could do it. I just needed to see I could do it. Your brain releases more motivation chemicals when your progress feels real, the finish line feels reachable, the reward feels like it's just in grasp. It creates the feel of like, urgency, like a renewed discipline, like sudden motivation. You don't magically become stronger. Your brain is like, oh, let's go. Your brain craves completion. So that's why we crave closure so freaking much. We crave one more text. We crave why, knowing why this didn't work out. We crave why we didn't get called back for that job. We crave why did mommy and daddy do this? So our brain, and when we don't have immediate answers, our brain is driving us to get those answers. It's like, come on, we need to complete the cycle. And there's tons of meditations out there where, let's say you have a painful memory that's just been on the loop in the back of your mind. It's just an open window, just consuming energy. You have all these open windows of situations where you haven't had closure. There's so many meditations out there to help you live through that, create your own closure through a deep thought or a release or something, so your body can actually just file it in the file cabinet and mark it done. Now we have more energy to go towards our future goals, to things that are actually in the present, to the executive functioning and thinking that we actually need to get to the next step of our journey, of our progress. The second main psychological driver, progress reduces uncertainty. At the beginning, the brain sees the risk, the brain sees the unknown, motivation is fragile. That's why people only last a couple of weeks in the first month of January. They're like, actually, it's a little too cold outside. It's maybe I'll start next season. Maybe I'll just Unless you're locked in, and you have a community like I did, like I knew I needed somebody to hold my hand and possibly my ponytail. Yeah, I knew that. I knew that. I was like, this is getting ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous. I can't even turn this off if I wanted to. Girl was okay. Girl was throwing it down. I'm like, yo, 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 yo. No, yeah, you gotta outsource this. The money will come. Just trust the money will come. You gotta outsource this. But towards the end, success feels predictable. Identity feels more stable. The brain stops resisting. The nervous system shifts from can we to are we doing it? And so what I did, my brain was like, oh, we were supposed to only do 40 days. So why are you going over? Now it's almost restarted. It feels like I'm back in week one. Like, wow, there's another level of cravings. I'm still craving steak, knowing I'm about to be raw for the next probably year and a half. Oh yeah, there's something else in there. Just go. These whispers of, oh, just get a little taste. Nobody would know. Come on, you're delivering food. Nobody would know about a missing crumpet. Just one missing egg roll. Nobody would see it, girl. Come on. Come on. Nobody would know. Oh, your favorite restaurant just sent you an email. Oh, Starbucks just sent you a free drink. Oh, it wouldn't hurt. It's not like your body would know anyway. Your body knows. And your internal audience is listening of how you proceed. Of how you proceed. Number 3, your identity is starting to lock in. Near the finish line, your brain starts thinking like, yeah, oh, this is who we are. This is what we do. This me and you. This is what we do. We are someone who finishes. That identity shift is powerful. But then you go off and say, oh no, actually we're gonna go until we're done. There's like an indefinite date. I said I'm gonna keep going until it's all out. Until I'm only producing little gerbil, little M&Ms. That's what my coach told me. You are like, that's how you know everything is out of your system, when you just have little pellets left. And I'm like, I still got some weight on me. I don't know where it's coming from. Still got some weight on me. It's like starting over from the beginning. I'm like, I should have just said I'll do 60s. But if you did that, that would have been too big of a goal for your mind to conceive. So y'all pray for me. Y'all pray for me. So essentially, that's hypothetically where I am. The goal gradient zone. The earlier days was survival. Like these middle days, yeah, you're building the discipline. And then like these last days, you should have real momentum. Real momentum. And I do have actually more energy to do more things. I have energy to say no. I have energy to say I'm only going to work this long. I have energy to say, you know what, I'm going to take a break and just sit with my dog and brush him. I just want to take a walk right now. We walked in the sun for like 2.5 hours. It was marvelous. It was marvelous. Oh, it felt so good today. I was like, take me. Take me. Felt so good. I don't know anybody else who's still going, who goes this long. I'm like, the rustle of the group is gone. And it's like, oh, I must continue this journey by myself. Got it. This is when you really have to rely on something bigger than you, because everything in your world is telling you to stop. Stop. So yeah. So I'm going, and I just ordered me a kit from the worm lady. You've heard of her? Her name is Kim Rogers. She has solved some amazing things. She's been through similar health concerns as me, and she's putting people on. Like, you don't have to suffer. You don't have to go through life with your e-brake on. Imagine, I'm about to start crying. Sorry. Imagine how it would feel to have just all of your energy, to have all of your brain potential, your function, to not have to be compulsive, to not have to be reactive, to be completely comfortable with who you are, what you're doing, and where you're going. I feel like that's true freedom. To know it doesn't matter what situation you are in, you trust yourself to be your biggest resource. And I can recall that feeling. And it just feels like something's blocking me from fully allowing it in. And you know, Shaman Durek always talks about like, don't talk about stuff blocking you. But there's a form of me that's not ready to receive that again. There's a form of me that learned that version of me invites threats that look good, that look like they are here for my well-being. And the results differ. But you should trust that your discernment grows with all the inner work I'm sure you're doing, with all this discoveries I'm sure you're making about yourself. The goal gradient theory basically states the closer you get to the finish line, the more your brain fights to protect the progress you've made. Unless something wants to thwart that progress. Unless there's an entity that truly wants you not to win. Even though you've gone this far, sometimes you don't even see it. Sometimes you can't even celebrate yourself. You're so busy on the what's next or why don't I feel this yet? I honestly think after I do this parasite cleanse, I hope it comes quick. I hope it comes next week. Apparently, hookworms, pinworms, they come out during the full moon. And we have a full moon in exactly 3 days on March 3rd at 3:33 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We are in Mountain. But I'm like, three is on my number. Three is like, what if this was preparing me just for this cleanse? I've cleansed, but I've never gathered all the stuff to actually move out of my body. What if this is the missing piece? What if this is the key to the migraines? What if this and this woman, she had to have a hysterectomy. That was offered to me, a hysterectomy. I'm like, what? I'm 27. And I was almost like, "Look, y'all want it? Y'all can have it. It's giving me nothing but it's giving me nothing but pain." Wow. Wow. So I'm hoping this it. Me and the dog are doing deworming. Remember yesterday I was like, double check. Because I thought the membership for the vet for Raj came with like his immunizations were all part of the deworming, the parasite, all that. Because they'll ask you, like, hey, does your dog go to boarding? Does he does he travel? Does he go to, to get those type of shots or whatever. I thought that came with it. But apparently all my dog really needs is the rabies shot. Everything else is like just fucking his immune system up. Excuse me. But as I'm learning myself, I gotta learn from my dog too. My dog doesn't drink tap water. But we shower in it. We brush our teeth in it. And I haven't even got my water tested. We thinking we gotta worry about third world country water. I'm seeing all these cases about our own water. I'm hoping it's different in Idaho, but Washington was supposed to have the purest water, the cleanest water. The worm queen, she has so much data. She actually tested her water, and Washington has some of the dirtiest, most infested water. That's where she actually got her parasites from. What? And she didn't drink tap water. She just bathed in it, showered in it, and I'm like, and she was telling me like the like she's my homegirl, like she called me. How these things are spread. So you know what we did? PetSmart. I was about to say PetSmart with a pet. Anything, anything for the pets. I said, oh no, we both about to get deworms. So just in case, I did the pet armor. This was the highest rating one. I hope that's a good one. Look, we busted it right open. I was in the car like, oh yeah, step one. I know you got worms. We did. What else we got? We got an antihistamine just in case. It's like a Benadryl for dogs. What else we got? I don't play. It was around $70. We got the Sure Shot, removes large roundworms and hookworms in puppies and dogs. We got that too. Can you see that? Yeah. You know what's up? He's been tested on his paws for yeast. That's the only way. As soon as I stayed with one of my homegirls as I was transitioning from my house, his paws started getting red when I stayed there, when I paid to stay there, when I lived there. And she had a cat. And cats cats and dogs step in their own shit. But his reddish tint on his paws, he's all white, didn't start happening until we moved there. And of course, on his annual, we got it tested. They said it was nothing, just probably a little yeast. It's normal. But he chews at his paws. I'm like, yeast is candida, which means it's an overgrowth. And candida is a parasite. And I, like most people, developed an overgrowth of candida when our environments were affected. I didn't develop candida until I got married. I was like, what? When people, my girlfriends, whatever, they would talk about yeast infection, especially my mom's, sorry, put your business out there. She suffered with it. It's actually very common. But I'm like to certain levels where my mother had to have a hysterectomy too. I'm like, what if this, I just needed to go paracyclines. If this works, I hope it gets it soon. I hope I can get it right on the full moon. That's when your worms peak out. Remember, I told you they hunger for serotonin, and that's when our body produces serotonin. Okay. Breezy loves to test a theory. Breezy loves testing a theory. And I'm glad I could talk about it here because I'm like, there's something still here. There's a reason why I haven't been able to cross over to like the 170s. I had a theory that, every time I get below like 178, not to toot my own horn, but somehow I just magically get too fine. And every time I'm below 178, I get unwanted attention. I get people wanting to pursue me more. And I'm just like, ah. And I've shared cases where that's already started happening. And I'm like, is my body trying to sabotage me? No, your parasites want to keep you fat so you can just be like, you are basically continental breakfast. You, these things don't want to let go of you. Just like that toxic ex, just like that stressful job. You've created such a great habitat. I've learned you just got depending on how you react, you could do fight, flight, fawn. I'm a flighter or a freezer, which means I play unalive and I just like it's almost as if my brain separates from my nervous system and I'm here, I'm functional, but I'm not here. Like I can't retain anything. I can't remember anything. I can't put thoughts together. It's just like I've learned to log off and my body is here. And my body's like, wait a minute, we need you to get out of this situation. You think you have a history of people betraying you, but you've been betraying you. That's a form of betrayal. So we're just learning all this stuff. I can't wait till my parasite kit comes. I ordered 2 different times, and I'm just like, I'm at a great position to really get directly to my parasites. I've cleared the biofilm. I've cleared the mucous plaque. Like, I'm assuming my digestive system looking pretty smooth. Just getting the last little rubble out. Um, but whatever's in me is putting up a fight. So the dog side of that gold gradient effect is also that when people are close to success, they often fear and get face to face with the pressure, the fear of failure, the fear of losing progress. It's just an emotional intensity that kind of drains you a little bit, but you think it's just, oh, it's just motivation. No, you're thinking about like, oh, do I really want this? How do I sabotage this? The finish line is becoming real. Am I ready to really go to the next level? Am I really now? I'm not gonna have an excuse to procrastinate what God has called of me. I can't say I'm too fat. I can't say I'm too tired. I can't. Now you gotta run. And it's like, but wait, I don't even know what I'm running into yet. Wait. Am I doing this? Am I doing this? I don't know exactly where I want to go. Girl, you know things have been just magically getting unfolded to you. Focus on that. Don't focus beyond that. Just focus on that. Stay in there. Stay in there. This is when you're really training yourself to love the journey and the process. Because how often are you ever going to be able to do this again? Especially with the quantum time leaps you're trying to make. You may be married with a family by this time next year. When else are you going to have time to do this? Sit in this moment. The beginning requires faith. The middle requires discipline. And this end, you gotta rely on momentum, baby. And know that things will appear like they have always appeared for you. The next step will always appear. Somebody came out from the woodworks and texted me. Like, I used to talk to. This is about a year. I was like, who? He said something. I didn't respond to. I'm like, you addressed me directly. These pre-formatted texts. It feels like it wasn't, but nah. Say my name and say what you been. Actually, I ghosted him. I didn't like it. I called him. I had to read the text to remember I called him, and then he didn't call me back till the next morning. I'm like, oh, you're not a man of your word. You're not efficient. And I'm not saying I called him at like 8 o'clock at night. I think I called him like 5 or 6 because he was texting too much. I'm like, boy, get on a phone call. And I think he tried to call me back in the morning, and I was just like, no text back, no nothing. I don't play that. I don't play that. Especially when you're courting me. No, thank you. No, thank you. So yeah, be ready for them to come out the woodworks, just like them worms. We're on a journey over here, sweetheart. I'm itching so much more. I feel like they know I'm onto them. The parasites, the hookworms, whatever's in there, they know. I'm coming for them. I'm coming for them. So I'm actually pretty excited about this. And like with most things, we just hope this is the solution we're looking for, right? But oh my gosh, it felt like it was 15 minutes. I was like, girl, don't take this long. You got a migraine. Let's keep it cute and then scoop. Okay. But this is what's on my heart. I'm living this real life. So just a heads up. Just a heads up. That's all I'm here to give you. Just a heads up. This gonna happen. Okay. I love you so much. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for rolling with me, riding me, and I'm here with you. So I love you. You know where to find me tomorrow. I'll see you then. Have a good night from Idaho. Bye.